Can we turn it on so I can announce the play? Yes, just yes. No.
I switch on here.
Ah, there we go. Thank you very much.
Signori e signore, onorabili ospiti, benvenuti a Palazzo della Signoria, o Palazzo Vecchio, come lo chiamate adesso. Circa 500 anni fa io lavoravo qui, proprio qui sopra, nell'ufficio del cancelliere. Allora Firenze era ancora una repubblica e questo salone era chiamato appunto Salone del Gran Consiglio. Guardate i muri attorno a voi. Una volta erano dipinti da Michelangelo, da Leonardo, con scene di battaglie vinte dalla gloriosa Repubblica. Adesso, come potete vedere, sono coperte dagli affreschi del Vasari, dove i medici sono raffigurati come antichi eroi, ma in realtà erano soltanto dei politici, come lo ero io, come forse qualcuno di voi lo è, o vorrebbe essere. Il salone rimase in uso per un consiglio di 500 persone, i rappresentanti delle circoscrizioni della città. La fortuna venne dalla mia parte, perché io fui assunto dal governo repubblicano per amministrarlo per 15 anni. Furono degli anni bellissimi quelli. Purtroppo però quei bei tempi non durarono a lungo, perché nel 1512 i Medici tornarono a Firenze con voglia di vendetta. Si impadronirono di questo palazzo, mi licenziarono, mi accusarono di cospirazione e mi buttarono in cella, torturandomi fino a farmi confessare. Ma confessare cosa? Io non ero colpevole. La fortuna mi sorrise nuovamente e grazie all'intervento del Papa io fui liberato. Cosa fare una volta libero ma senza lavoro? Scrivere un libro, ovviamente. Quindi fu questo il motivo per cui iniziai a scrivere Il Principe. E molto intelligentemente lo dedicai al magnifico Lorenzo de' Medici. Purtroppo questo non fu d'aiuto, perché lui non lo lesse mai. Ma adesso è l'opera più venduta, che fa ancora riecheggiare il mio nome ai vostri tempi. Come mi chiamo? Niccolò Machiavelli. Ma io non sono stato machiavellico nel senso volgare del termine. Io ho sempre creduto nella mia amata Repubblica e nel potere del popolo. Il mio consiglio nel Principe era quello di avere dalla sua parte i cittadini e non le fazioni. Il popolo e lo Stato hanno bisogno gli uni degli altri per poter sopravvivere. Anche la Repubblica ha bisogno di usare l'inganno e la forza per sopravvivere alle stranezze degli affari umani. Ma il popolo non dimentica mai il sapore della libertà. Se vuoi che ciò non accada, tu prima devi ucciderli tutti. È tutto racchiuso nella mia opera I Discorsi, l'altra faccia del Principe. Ma chi interessano questi noiosi trattati? A chi? I buoni cittadini di Firenze della mia epoca preferivano la mia commedia, La Mandragora. Purtroppo il mio unico successo letterario durante la mia vita. Fra tutti i miei scritti, la mandragora era la pozione magica perfettamente bilanciata fra la fortuna e la virtù. Signore e signori, onorabili ospiti, la natura umana non è così cambiata dai miei tempi. Principi o cittadini, politici o burocrati, sappiate che io avevo previsto tutto.
We recommend that the European Union holds citizens' assemblies.
We strongly recommend that they are developed through legally binding and compulsory law or regulation proposition.
In case citizens' proposals are ignored or explicitly rejected, EU institutions must be accountable for it,
justifying the reasons why this decision was made.
Honourable members, our founders only meant to lay the first stone of this democracy. They always thought that future generations would complete their work. Democracy has not gone out of fashion, but it must update itself in order to keep improving people's lives. These are the words of David Sassoli, a great European who we all pay tribute to today. David Sassoli thought that Europe should always look for new horizons. And through the adversities of these times, we have started to see what our new horizons might be. A braver union, closer to its people in times of need, bolder in responding to historic challenges and daily concerns of Europeans, and to walk at their side when they deal with the big trials of life. This is why the Conference on the Future of Europe was so important. It was a sneak peek of a different kind of citizens' engagement, well beyond election day. And after Europe listened to a citizen's voice, we now need to deliver. The citizens' panels that were central to the conference will now become a regular feature of our democratic life.
Do we have it this time?
I think we do, Robert, but first let's hear what Madam Secretary General Sofia thinks about it.
I really like the Sassoli quote, it works well. Good tone overall, solemn without being too alarmist. He sounded convinced, even genuine, and that's what it takes to be convincing.
Right. So we're done here, because I don't have much time to dedicate to the speech, I'm afraid.
No. If you can do it once more without the stuttering on citizens' panels, that would be great. Also, try to lose the ceremonial tone towards the end. It's a speech to the parliament. You're not on the top of the barricade to try and liberate the Bastille.
Sophia, I just told you I didn't have time. All right, Madam Secretary General, let's do this one last take.
I'm sorry. Do you think it makes me happy to receive all these mails from the citizens who took part in the citizens' panels we organized last year in Florence, Dublin, Nantes, Maastricht? Look, here I have a bunch. Hello, my name is blah, blah, blah. I'm reaching out regarding the Citizens' Assembly in Florence. We believe we came up with many great recommendations. When will our proposals be considered or implemented? Are you waiting for us to come and demand respect in person? Better to leave the EU altogether than be treated like pawns in a game whose rules are not written by us. All co-signed by many members and all borderline threatening us with a new Gilets jaunes revolt against us here in Brussels or a new Brexit saga. Eucratia, we have to come up with some kind of credible response.
But that's what we're doing.
And do you think that's enough? Listen, I understand we have many things to think about, but at a certain point we'll have to show that we're thinking this box as well.
Ticking this box? What do you mean?
I think we have to organize a new citizens' assembly, but one citizens will be happy with this time. So also, I'll stop receiving all these mails.
You're kidding me. So that is the solution to your mail issue. Organize another citizens' assemblies. We can also reform the entirety of the European Union. But that's quite a box to tick, huh?
Obviously, you know that's not what I meant. All around Europe, from grassroots movements to party politics, citizens' assemblies are flourishing everywhere. And here we are doing so little. But if we organize the biggest citizens' assembly Europe has ever witnessed, that's a win, no matter what we do with it. Listen, as you know, I'm also very busy, so we can continue with your declaration later. Just take a day and think about it.
Yeah, I just can't get my head out of this win you talk about, but I'll think about it.
Think about it.
Robert, where are you?
I'm here, Madam President. I always have been.
Right. Can you bring me a glass of water and a paracetamol, please?
Certainly, Madam President. Busy evening at Cluck's, Madam President? Sorry, Madam President, I thought I'd tell a small joke to clear the air.
Well, before clearing the air, you might consider reading the room and redirect all that energy and creativity of yours to a comedy club, theater workshop.
Or to my next therapy session.
Right. Anyways, what's on my agenda for today?
Allow me to grab Madam President's agenda forthwith. Well, Madam President, there is a meeting of the Council of Regions representative who would like to present the conclusions of the 7th report.
Sounds exciting. What is this report about?
It is entitled Pathways for Civil Engagement within the Innovative Frameworks for Democratization in the European Union.
Okay, I'll pass. Anything else?
Yes, Madam President, a consultancy firm by the name of the Machiavellis would like to pitch their ideas to you about... Ooh,
Citizens' assemblies again?
Yes, Madam President.
Anything else?
Yes, Madam President. Dimitri de Peuple, leader of the French Communist Party and MEP, has requested a meeting with you. Yet again.
You should have said it earlier. That will do.
With all due respect, Madam President, I said the leader of the French Communist Party. I think we can await another half an hour before his arrival.
That must be him. How do I look?
Blushing like a teenager on her first date, Madam President. Oh, just kidding, Madam President. You look like Margaret Thatcher in her younger days.
Robert.
Truly stunning.
Stop your nonsense, or I'll break you in half. Like Margaret did the miners.
At once, Madam President.
Let him in.
Madam President, it is an honor and a pleasure to see you.
The pleasure's all mine, Monsieur du Peuple. Please, have a seat. What brings you here?
I come with a very urgent and delicate inquiry, Madam President.
Well, speak freely. The institution that I represent will be delighted to look into your matter. The Commission is always at the disposal of the Parliament.
With all due respect, Madam President, certain EU law institutional scholars may contest that statement.
Robert, no one in this room wants to hear about your opinion on EU constitutional matters. Just go on and order my agenda for next week.
Yes, at once, Madam President.
So, Monsieur du Peuple of the French Communist Party, what is that very urgent inquiry of yours?
Monsieur du Peuple. Monsieur du Peuple. No, I'm sorry. I'm not sure I know this Mr. du Peuple that you're referring to. My name is Jacques Delors, and I demand your urgent cooperation to build on the European project.
Monsieur Delors, your wishes are order. I shall do anything you desire.
Anything.
Anything. I wouldn't have thought that this EU roleplay would grow on me so much, but I guess after all these years in Brussels doesn't get without consequences on someone's emotional life. Anyways, thanks for passing by. It's not even lunchtime and this day has already been so dreadful.
Yeah? Wrestling with the council once again? Or with the parliament? Or both?
Not even. It's the citizens' assemblies. The stars must have aligned in some weird ways, but that's what everyone keeps talking to me about.
I mean, you must admit that our democratic model is rusty, to say the least. But so, are you thinking about organizing citizens' assemblies to follow up on the panels held so far?
Thinking about it? No, I'm not thinking about it. I'm being told to do so, and there's a big nuance here.
Sorry for making such an assumption. I guess after hearing you state so often that our founders only meant to lay the first stone of this democracy, they always thought that future generations would complete their work. Well, at some point, I think I came to take it seriously. I guess I'm not yet used to the very subtle second-degree sense of humor of the Commission, you know? We're much more straightforward at the Parliament.
Dimitri, if you're trying to join this collective effort to make my day more painful, your presence is not desired here.
You could, sir. Come on. Don't pretend that you've only realized now what political responsibilities entail. Besides, I'm not trying to join anything, and in fact, it's not even about you. It is about paying tribute to the only one that matters, that justify all our hours of work, from the first light of the morning until our late hours of consultation at night. It is about the people of Europe.
And here we go again, Monsieur du Peuple, the people this and the people that. But you know what's so annoying about you populists is that you invoke the people so much, you think you have a monopoly on taking their pulse. But tell me, what is the people of Europe, huh?
Well, take a pen. We demand equality. We demand to take back the democratic power that is rightfully our own. We demand to take a more active part in the decision process of the EU, no matter our class or gender or the color of our skin.
You should hear yourself, honestly. Don't you feel like it might be a touch simplistic to summarize the political aspiration of 500 million people in one sentence? Did you ask them all personally what they thought? I have my doubts. And you hide behind the will of the people. But this political project is your own, and you won't take any contradictions for it. Hasn't it occurred to you that the people who work here in the Commission, they actually know what they're doing? The people that you cross paths with, you smile to in the elevators? Well, all these years of experiences, these diplomas, this expertise is gathered here for a reason. And even to us sometimes, EU politics and policies is so complex, we don't even know what we're doing. But we work on it all day long with world-class experts.
I see. So, when I invoke the will of the people, that's basically a populist simplification. But, on the other hand, when you invoke world-class experts, when you hide behind your technocratic bubble, then that should be God's will. Listen, I'm not here to fight. We said we leave politics outside of a relationship, and I think we should. I'm sorry if I got carried away. It's just that beyond those walls, I think people trust less and less in our institutions. And I can hardly blame them. I desire that you have the most popular support possible. I care about you. So, what's the harm in listening a bit to their voice? In giving out a bit of power, just a tad, but to make some meaningful political change? I mean, Just think of how symbolic it would be for your image. Lucrezia, the woman that radicalized democracy in Europe. Don't you like the sound of that?
I mean, I don't think that politics should just be about improving someone's self-image. The Commission is not some kind of marketing firm selling dairy products. But you're right. I don't like it when we fight it either. I've just grown sick of people telling me what to do.
I don't know about those nuts of the Commission, but it's definitely not what I'm trying to do. I just think that you should think about it. That's it. Anyway, I have to get going. I think I'm gonna pass by later. Goodbye, my technocratic lover.
Romantic. Robert, can you ask Philippa to come into my office? I need her expertise on citizens' assemblies. Oh, already. Come on in. Oh, wow. That is quite a pile.
Indeed it is, Madam President, and yet it is so far from everything we have on citizens' assemblies. Were I to bring you everything, I would far exceed my carrying capacity.
And some say bureaucrat is not a physical job, huh? So hear me out. Today, everyone keeps talking to me about citizens' assemblies, the technocrat to the populist, and that's quite a consensus to reach. But I want to hear what you think about it, Philippa.
What I think about it? Well, it is hardly my area of expertise, but you know what I always say? When in doubt, consult the classics. Madam President, have you ever heard of the ingenious device known as the Kleroterion? Now, it is a kind of ancient Athenian lottery machine used to select which citizens, we speak now of course of men, women, slaves and foreigners being excluded, would hold political office. In modern terms, sortition or selection by lot, direct democracy by way of random chance.
But why would people randomly selected be more representative than I am? I mean, at least I led the party that won most votes in the last European elections.
Indeed, Madam President, you did astonishingly well. But you see, that is part of the problem. Most of the people you represent, you will agree, have had neither your opportunities nor your virtuoso ability to seize them. Elections select for people who are good at winning elections.
So you think we should negate how I got here in the first place? But okay, let's say I buy your argument for modern-day Athens. How would a few randomly picked citizens represent 500 million Europeans?
Perhaps I may make a philosophical point. One is not born a citizen, one becomes a citizen by way of doing that which a citizen does. Now, a more direct form of democracy would certainly go a long way towards addressing that democratic deficit so frequently derided within our great union. A politically bold idea that could cement your presidency in history like that of Delors.
Let's not get carried away. But so you think I should do it?
Do I think you should do it? Madam President, direct democracy is no perfect solution, nor are citizens' assemblies without risks and flaws. They can delegitimize existing political parties. Depoliticize issues through forced consensus. They are subject to capture by experts. They can upend existing law. In brief, Madam President, citizens' assemblies are a powerful tool that must be used wisely. Errare humanum est, perseverare diabolicum.
So you're saying I should not take the risk?
Du malea jak tendast, audacem juat fortuna.
Philippa, quit the Latin and tell me what to do.
I am very much afraid, Madam President, you may be asking me for something I cannot give. Now, this information, all of our surveys, assessment, inferences, hypotheses, models, wild guesses, the entire ocean of white papers, well, it tends to describe how the world is. The question of how the world ought to be, we academics most humbly leave to the citizens, and at least for the moment, to their elected representatives.
Right. Well, thank you, Philippa. And I will think about it.
We recommend that the European Union holds citizens' assemblies.
We strongly recommend that they are developed through legally binding and compulsory law or regulation proposition.
In case citizens' proposals are ignored or explicitly rejected, EU institutions must be accountable for it.
Justifying the reasons why this decision was made.
Robert, what is that consultancy on citizens' assemblies you mentioned this morning? It was something Italian. Yeah, the Machiavellis. Well, I want to hear their proposal. Plan a meeting with them. Come on in.
Madame, Monsieur, the President of the Commission.
Robert, enough with the protocol. It's nice to meet you both. Welcome. Make yourself comfortable.
It's an honor to meet you, Madam President. You seem surprised, Madam President. Were you expecting someone else?
No, it's not your presence that surprises me, but everyone else's. I wasn't expecting this meeting to be public.
As it should have been, Lucrezia, I really don't understand why you wouldn't want the whole world to see how seriously you're taking the renewal of the Union. Thank God I was lucky enough to bump into these two charming persons in the elevator, and after a little bit of small talk, to learn the purpose of their visit.
Always such a charming way to put things to, right? I guess you can stay. You, Philippa?
I could not help but overhear their name in the corridor. Now the Machiavelli is proposing a radical new form of democracy in Europe. Do you not hear the whispers, the echoes of history?
Right. Well, I guess your opinion might be useful after all. Please go on. If you wait any longer, we might have to move this meeting into a plenary room. Robert, can you tell whoever's here this is not the cafeteria?
At once, Madam President. Oh, it's you. Madam President, I think our distinguished guest knows that this is not the cafeteria.
Hello? So, well, I was in the front desk, and I heard that apparently you were thinking of organizing something on citizens' assemblies?
And you thought your expertise will be indispensable?
No, not at all. It's just that, first, I think I felt honored, because it means that you listen to my opinion, and it's a healthy relationship. Secondly, I guess I felt a bit responsible, you know, almost like a worried dad, actually. But please, don't mind me, you can go on.
Right. Well, please, go on.
Perfect. Are you the president of a European Commission?
Of a country?
Or of a simple city council?
And you feel like your citizens are growing skeptical of your actions, like they would want to participate more in public affairs.
That this disaffection could impact your mandate?
Well, we've got a solution for you.
We've got the solution
Are
for
you thinking, another boring policy proposal claiming to reinvent the wheel?
Well, stand corrected. Our founders are not from the College of Europe, but from the School of Athens.
Here you can see our project manager and his team.
But are you thinking, what worked for a city-state in antiquity could not possibly work for the European Union today? Well, worry not, we've thought of everything.
Thank you, I was getting worried.
Yes, what we present to you today is the state of the art of an idea. Citizens' Assemblies 2.0, blending mechanisms of representation and participation, the virtual and the physical, the local and the transnational, involving randomly selected citizens from all over Europe, according to a wide array of criteria.
That's right, Tarek. And trust us, citizens will be happy. Everyone involved declared they had the best and most empowering experience of their life. They got to deliberate with fellow citizens coming from different countries and cultures, different generations and social backgrounds. Exhilarating.
That's right, Rachel. So, for democracy,
for popularity,
for empowerment,
choose Citizens' Assemblies!
Thank you. Thank you for this enlightening presentation. Quite different from what we're used to at the Commission.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Totally.
But perhaps a question. What power are we supposed to give to the citizens? And do we accept any old policy change by a few randomly picked people?
Well, Madam President, as you naturally understand, this whole exercise is meant to be a formality.
Revolution.
A formality.
A revolution.
A formality.
A revolution. What are you doing? I thought we dealt with this.
I thought so too.
Excuse us, Madam President. I think we need to take a minute.
Sure, go ahead.
Well, I like Rachel, but I think we're good with only one Machiavelli.
I knew it. I knew it. That's why you happened to casually walk in here to push this nonsense agenda of yours about your beloved revolution.
What the hell are you doing, Tarek? Is this what you want to do with this project? A simple box-ticking exercise to please a few technocrats?
Rachel, come on, don't ruin this for us. We are about to make it. We are right in front of the President of the European Commission. Does she look like she wants to empower citizens? Wake up. We are selling a product. Our product. There is no demand in this room for any kind of revolution.
Not true. I overheard the elevator guy cheer for me. Just hear yourself speak. What happened to the Tarek I met, lecturing an entire bar about Marx, Laclos, and Mouffe? Was it all just an act? You see a grand meeting room, a fancy protocol, and in front of power, all of your ideals just vanish?
Rachel, don't go there. That's not fair. When you're a teenager, you want to change the world. That's just the way it is. But then you grow up, you realize the world is working in a certain way, and it's not functioning so bad. Deal with your own quarter-life crisis. Do you really think this whole thing is anything else than marketing to them?
Marketing?
Yes.
Don't talk about marketing. This is about democracy, about politics, about changing the way this rotten system works, finally giving power back to its rightful owners. The most noble struggle, Tarek. So no, this is not marketing, and we're not selling printers.
Well, if you continue to behave this way, we're not going to sell anything at all.
Well, then fine.
Fine.
Enough, Machiavellis. You know we can hear you well. And let me tell you, I don't appreciate you coming into my office and casually assuming you know what I think. Because actually, I'm not even sure we should be doing a citizens' assemblies.
Come on, Lucrezia. You cannot say that. Okay. Wait a second. It's quite clear to me that only Rachel actually takes this exercise seriously. So I was thinking, maybe you could fire Tarek, keep Rachel, and then we can go on creating meaningful citizens' assemblies.
We? Ha ha ha. No. Il Signore del Popolo speaks yet again in everyone's name while voicing his own views. Lucrezia, I know you don't want this. We spoke about this morning. Let's just keep Tarek in here to advise us on what works better for you and leave the USSR nostalgics out of the room.
No, enough with both of you. Lucrezia, you should do this. Lucrezia, you should do that. I'm old enough to make my decisions. And you know what? I have an idea. Philippa, you said that randomness worked pretty well in ancient Greece, right?
A slight misquote, but essentially yes.
All right, well, let's put it into practice here then.
I don't know if I quite follow, Madam President.
Well, you, for instance. Who should I pick? Tarek or Rachel? One for Rachel. How about you? Or should I? Two for Rachel. And you? Rachel or Tarek? Three for Rachel.
Well.
How about you? Well, I guess at this point, the people have spoken. Rachel, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Madam President. As I tried to explain to you before being mansplained by my colleague, this citizen assembly is not just a technocratic formality. It's about democratizing the EU. It has to involve people we normally don't see, the invisible mass that is not invited around this table usually. It has to be as diverse as possible, using quotas so that every kind of person gets a seat. With abstention rates going through the roof all across Europe, it's the only way to rebuild hope and confidence in EU politics. We cannot carry on with the very few who still believe in politicians, let alone EU politicians. These hundreds of randomly picked citizens will then get to interact with EU jurists and constitutional experts who will finally get out of their databases and learn from real people.
Sorry, but you realize that most of them won't get a thing, right? Or am I mansplaining again?
Spoken like a true technocrat. Well, maybe it's time for the experts to learn from the wisdom and the problems of the people for a bit. And what's the point of having all of these laws and policies if the citizens do not understand them?
You know that actually that's almost a perfect paraphrase of my manifesto in 99.
Yeah, or my 14-year-old daughter last Twitter post.
This is about embedding every single citizen of the EU in this process, all 500 million of them, to give them a voice. It has to be massive, representative, and regular. And when I say regular, I do not mean every 7 years, but every 2 weeks, Madam President. If we stick to this, in no time, EU laws will be adapted to the views of its 500 million citizens, and EU democracy will be reborn.
I'm sorry, you're talking about millions of citizens, but you owe your place on this stage right now to just a couple of people. And you're talking about European democracy as if it were already dead. What about the Parliament? What about European citizens' initiatives? Your idealism makes you so stubborn that it's blinding you to tangible achievements that are making a real difference in the lives of those citizens you like to praise. And overestimate the collective intelligence of, because I doubt that with these consultations you'll get anything resembling actionable policy. Experts do have expert opinion, experts may have privileged knowledge, but they know how to be pragmatic and they know how to use that knowledge. And you're talking about hundreds of citizens every 2 weeks? How would that work? But if you think you represent the will of the people of Europe so faithfully, then let's make everyone vote.
I see we move now from sortition to consulting the entire polity, thereby avoiding the fallacy of composition, where what is true for some may not be true for all, even with random selection.
Academia really has a concept to everything. But I guess Tarek is right. Let's see what they think about it.
Yes. Please, vote.
Please.
Take out your phone, scan the code, and vote. For radical democracy or technocracy.
For wise technocracy.
Come on.
Come on,
all
please.
of you, vote.
Vote.
Go for it.
We're an assembly after all, please.
So.
Well?
Well, Rachel, I think this is pretty obvious by now.
Is it?
Just once, please.
Shall we go on? Well, I believe that this vote confirms once again the wisdom of the crowd. The people clearly demands radical democracy, and that is what it should get. Is it? But with all due respect, Madam President, I don't think that one assembly is going to cut it. It should be assemblies across all communes of Europe, in every possible policy subject, and most importantly, it should be legally binding.
But I'm going to tell you a secret. Social progress never falls from the sky. It is always the result of a struggle.
Yes, exactly.
And you know that these people on the stage, in the end, they don't care about your opinion. It's all a bourgeois masquerade. So if you really want your citizen assembly, you're gonna have to fight for it.
Lucrezia, that's exactly what I was telling you earlier.
Let a million democratic council bloom across Europe. No more commission princes, no more council technocrats, and no more corrupt bourgeois European parliaments.
What?
We don't need representation from anyone. We are the people of Europe.
Madam President, this is why you have to pre-select citizens for a citizens' assembly, so that you can get the reasonable few, not the agitated mass, as I'm sure this esteemed audience would agree. But even then, Madam President, you should mistrust them, always. Now they look wise and obedient, but stumble even once, make the most human mistake, and they'll turn on their prince immediately.
You see? See how they're already trying to resist? This is why we need to use every means possible to win. Violence is all they ever understand.
Madam President, you see it's happening right now. The people are plotting against you. Mistrust them, control them. They must fear you. It's the only way for you to get peace.
Look at how much they fear democracy. As soon as it shows its nose, they are terrified of us.
Look at how much they hate us. They've been used to too much freedom for too long. They don't know their place.
The only thing the elite understands is revolt.
The only thing the people understand is repression.
You should kill them all.
Enough Machiavellis. How dare you come into my office and profess such nonsense and say these things? What if there's a journalist in the corridor? You think we're ready for another scandal? Out of my office now.
But Madam President.
No, did I stutter?
No, Madam President.
And you, Robert, what is these people you bring into my office, huh? Another one of your silly jokes? We should have gone with Deloitte or KPMG like we always do.
I am so sorry, Madam President. The name should have risen my vigilance. Though, you have to admit, that was quite some entertainment.
Enough. Out.
Very well, Madam President. L'entendance suivra.
No, although the mode of expression certainly was extraordinary, the ideas themselves, I'm sure you will agree, are fairly fascinating.
No. I won't agree with anything, Philippa. Out of my office. The
Yes,
two of
I'm
you,
fine.
out as well. Everyone out
What?
now.
Sorry.
Yes, you have.
Che giornata.
Sai che sono stato anche torturato qui? Non è cambiato molto. Ma le statue sono nuove però.
Che ci fai nel mio ufficio?
Veramente questo è il mio ufficio.
Sì, forse. Ma oggi ho sentito parlare molto di te. Sei stato tu a orchestrare tutto questo?
No, non ho inviato io quei due. E tra l'altro mi sembravano anche piuttosto cretini.
Ma dunque non hai detto queste cose? Che il popolo deve essere ucciso dopo aver assaggiato un po' di libertà? Ci credi?
Sì, le ho dette e ci credo. Non si ama la propria libertà tanto da morire per essa. E tu, non hai forse detto le assemblee cittadine che sono state al centro della conferenza sul futuro dell'Europa diventeranno ora una regolare caratteristica della nostra vita democratica? Non ci credi?
Non hai tutti i torti. L'ho detto e ci credo. Ma i consulenti della Machiavelli erano effettivamente cretini. Però Dimitri e Sofia hanno ragione. E anche Filippa. Dovremmo fare qualcosa. E suppongo che potremmo chiamarla Assemblea dei cittadini?
Non è una cattiva idea. Sai, io ho sempre pensato che i cittadini, se non governati da un principe, dovrebbero avere voce in capitolo nelle decisioni del loro governo e un principe saggio dovrebbe preferire loro alle fazioni aristocratiche.
Ma stai dicendo che non sono un principe?
Dico solo che l'hai detto tu stessa, che rappresenti 500 milioni di persone e che, a quanto ho capito, sei arrivata al potere tramite elezione. Mi sembra un procedimento piuttosto democratico. Sai, i principi con cui ho avuto a che fare sono arrivati al potere con metodi molto meno pacifici, te lo assicuro.
Non definirei Bruxelles pacifica. Hai visto la gente con cui abbiamo a che fare qui?
Ebbene, non è questa la democrazia?
Mettere persone insieme nella stessa stanza che vogliono uccidersi a vicenda?
Sì, ma non proprio così. Vedi, la democrazia consiste nel far discutere le persone, senza che farli uccidere a vicenda, in una stanza chiamata assemblea e con delle regole.
E che regole?
Non lo so, questo ci devi pensare tu. Sai, io ho scritto per il mio tempo e per i governi che conoscevo. Signora Presidente, se si paragonasse il presente al passato, si vedrebbe facilmente che in tutte le città e in tutte le persone ci sono sempre le stesse passioni, gli stessi desideri, come ho scritto nella mia opera ai discorsi. La gente vuole la libertà, vuole avere voce in capitolo, ma il popolo può essere volubile. Il potere va usato con saggezza e mai contro di loro.
Sì, hai ragione, Niccolo. È vero.
Bene. Buona fortuna, signora Presidente. I miei ossequi.
Robert, can you tell Philippa, Sophia and Dimitri to come back in, please? Right. So, what do you all think we witnessed today?
Well,
Well,
I think
crazy,
that
eh?
Okay, not everyone at the same time. Sophia.
Well, I was completely with Tarek until he started saying we should kill all the citizens. E che cazzo? I mean, I understand they complain a lot, they're hard to manage, but they still deserve respect. In the end, what we're doing here, we do it for them.
Right. You, Dimitri?
Well, at first, I was completely agreeing with Rachel. I think she made me remember those young years when I still believed about changing society. And I mean, her whole thing about conflict, I believe in it. Politics is necessarily always about conflicts. But the things that she said about the parliament, I'm not sure, you know. Maybe I'm getting soft, but I still believe that the parliament can be a place where conflict can happen.
Right. You, Philippa?
I found it utterly fascinating, a magnificent example of reductio ad absurdum.
Okay, never mind. Well, here's what I think about it. It's obvious that we need a new citizens' assemblies. What's less obvious is how to do it.
Yeah.
Both of you agreed with some points of the Machiavellis, but you obviously don't want to kill everyone.
No.
And you have another point in common. You care about the citizen and the union.
Yeah.
And you deeply care about me, although in different ways.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Right. So, you're going to come up with a plan together on how to do the citizens' assemblies and with them.
Them?
Yeah, I mean, they already voted before. We're not going to leave them hanging like this. And Philippa, you're going to help them out.
Ah, Madam President, nothing would give me greater pleasure. However, We have spoken of ancient Athens, Machiavelli, the Renaissance Republic, magnificent all, but although our union is European, democracy is not. I propose you task me with a fact-finding mission looking into global practices of participation. Punch at democracy in India, Buen Vivir movement of South America, Ubuntu practices of Africa, Chinese, whatever it is they do in China. Madam President, Europe must look to the world.
Right. Well, go on into your fact-finding mission, and I will leave you to it, because I have China, the USA, climate change to deal with.
Eucrazia. So, have you ever done anything like this before?
Well, normally at the Parliament we begin with a tour de table. But in this case, I guess it's going to be a bit complicated.
Well, at the Commission we like to hold meetings where we know what we're going to talk about. So, what are we even talking about?
Citizens' assemblies, I guess. And how to make it work as well. I mean, I do remember something that Rachel said about... What was it about again? Yeah. She spoke about organizing citizens' assemblies every 2 years. Well, without going that far, it means that in some ways, we must think about how regular those assemblies would be.
Okay, so that's one.
Okay.
Then we also have to think about who's participating in it and what they understand of the stakes and the processes. So maybe we might need some kind of expert involvement, to help them understand.
Yeah, or directly to tell them what to think.
Yeah, okay, maybe.
But no, okay, there is definitely something else. First, there is numbers, and more than just numbers, I guess there is something about representativity, It's about those people that normally in society are never represented or always invisibilized, where it's about those people having more of a say. For instance, young people, I would be for the fact that people that would be, let's say, below 12 would be able to actually participate to a citizens' assembly.
12, I think that's a bit too far, but we can see what they think about it.
Okay, so at that point, we have numbers, we have expert involvement, we have representativity, regularity of some sort, I guess. What else?
Well, the big one, I suppose, how binding the results should be.
Yeah, no, I guess you're right. It is the big one. It's even the elephant in the room, I guess. But I must say that obviously how binding it is important. It is even very important. But I mean, I am a member of parliament. As such, I have been elected by the people. So this whole thing of bindingness, I must say that I have mixed feelings about it.
Well, do you think at the Commission they would be happy about it?
Yeah. What about you? What do you think about it?
Yeah, what do you think? Maybe discuss it with the people next to you?
Maybe you can engage a bit. I mean, you had Ukraine, we do have to come up with something, so maybe speak with your neighbors. If you have to think about a citizens' assembly, how would it look like? What do you think about? Is it small? Is it big? Is it just specific? What's your imaginary about citizens' assemblies? You can speak for a bit. They're speaking. It's going well. Should engage.
Changing.
Forgetting now. What am I supposed to say?
Good citizens that we are, we've been listening. But think it's about time for you to listen to us. And now you say we may not be completely random citizens.
C'est bot coming now.
Non, mais viens pas me voir.
Non.
You have a second round now, we may not be completely random. And then I say, can we bring it up?
Oh, they're engaging, you know, as well.
It's working.
You can sit.
Should we sit?
Citizens' assemblies, right?
Yeah, it's working.
It is, it is.
What do you think?
Okay. Good citizens that we are. Yeah, we've been listening to you for a while now. We have been. And now?
Yeah, we have been chatting and discussing and taking an opinion, but we thought that now is about you to listen to us.
And well, we may not be very randomly selected citizens in this room, are we? But hey, we're the best you've got. So, you know, can we...
A bit of holidays. I'm fine with that.
Bring it up the little democratic tool, and can we do it? Yep.
Yeah.
Allez.
Let's do it.
Okay, it's our turn, guys. We're not random, but we are wise, right? So, do we think, let's have a vote, do we think there should be a permanent citizen assembly? Lucretia, should she say yes to the permanent citizen assembly? Come on, let's vote here. Whoa. Ooh. Not everyone is convinced. Whatever our fellow citizens say, that's kind of cool.
Interesting.
Wow, 3 times, come on. Pink, blue. That's pretty cool. Okay, it sounds like you believe in a permanent citizen assembly. Wow, so what about...
Another question, perhaps, where we want to be listened. The question is about children. Should children be part of it? Should we also be part of citizens' assembly?
Definitely for it.
Well,
children under 12?
It's going to be...
yeah.
Some abstention? No, you're coming. You're catching up.
I'm finally winning.
A lot of pink here. A lot of no. You're not convinced? It's the reverse.
Perhaps those kids, you know, they're not capable of democracy, right?
Wow.
But you know what? Enough of these binaries. Whether the children are in the assemblies or not, I'm just a random citizen, but I'm tired of binaries. I think we need a blank slate. Forget everything that you've heard. Let's forget everything we've heard. Imagine this blank, close your eyes for 2 seconds. Imagine this assembly. And now, what do we see? Who are all these people who are supposed to represent you, us, you know, 500 million Europeans? Who are they? Come on, are they young, old? What's their profile? Are they rich, poor, knowledgeable, literate, not literate? Come on, let's vote. Let's put some words in this story. On this blank slate, let's go for it. Who are they? How many are there? How many are in this assembly? What do they look like?
We are looking for words. We are looking for
Ordinary.
feelings. We are looking for colors. Any sensation that might pop up in your mind, please write it down. We want to see these words getting bigger and bigger. We want to see more colors, more words.
And what are they talking about? So they're unqualified. Yeah, great. Well, how do we know? And they're pink and colorful, and they may be stupid idiots. Maybe they're not political. Maybe they represent the entire world, not just Europe. Have they been manipulated? Maybe that's okay. Maybe it's a very mixed crowd. Maybe we are all one, yes. And what are we talking about? How inspiring. What kind of, is it the big agenda of Europe, big visions about the world? Or is it about specific policies, very nitty-gritty stuff? We're all connected, yes, religiously diverse, probably intelligent or stupid, educated, open-minded. Why? Well, international, European or not. But how are they going to be taken seriously, passionately, ignored? Should they just be consulted by percentage? And linguistically diverse. You fear they might be easily influenced? Really? Qualified and real, the whole thing. Erasmus, yes, power to the Erasmus students. And plural, blue colors, a lot of blue colors, colors of Europe. Experts in many fields or uneducated, badly informed. Maybe, does that make a difference? Working, all of us.
No?
This assembly, Alberto, is starting to look beautiful.
Beautifully rich, many colors.
Young, diverse, and what is ordinary? What do you really mean by ordinary? Maybe we're all ordinary? Rich individual histories they should all have. And a few Marxists in there, why not? Techno-socialist and into liquid democracy. Is that what they're going to talk about? And of course, French. I like that they're French. There you go. Wow, we have something here. You have something here. You have a vision.
Yeah.
Bah, yeah, I guess it does look like something.
It's something. We can start thinking of something with this, you know?
Yeah, no, I mean, actually, I think it might be even time to tell Lucrezia to tell her that we actually found something.
Yes.
You know what? I think she doesn't even believe that we managed to find anything.
No, for sure.
Okay. Alors. Allô?
Hello.
Madame Président? Oui. Can you hear me? Well, I think we actually managed to find something.
Yes. That's great. I look forward to seeing it. Thank you.
No worries,
No worries, Madame
France.
President.
No, really, this is our job.
That's fine.
Not to you. Thanks to them.
Thank you. To the technical team. Laura. Okay, you do another one? Okay, right from there.
Bye bye.
Ciao.